So welcome back, everyone. We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. I got a newbie with me, and I love when I have my newbies on. When we have new people, it's really fun. I have with me Mason Lundell. He is the owner of Unchained Wellness Clinic. Welcome to the show. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about your story and how you got into this.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. My name is, again, Mason Lundell. Grew up in Gilbert, Arizona, native Arizonan. And the way we got to Unchained was I went through a mental crisis of my own and didn't find anything that really met my needs. And I thought, wow, there is a big need for a place that you can go and get allopathic care and also holistic care. My wife and I really enjoy holistic and healthy living, and there wasn't a place that could offer me, medication and also offer me advice on holistic healing and giving me an option for, not taking meds.
Well, you're located in Gilbert, and what you do is you offer a free tour for people out there, and I want you to tell everybody about what that's like.
Sure, yeah, it's really kind of nerve-wracking to go to a new facility, so we just offer a free tour for someone to come in, check out our facility, get familiar with the modalities that we offer, maybe briefly meet the provider, and get kind of familiar with where we're at.
Now, I want everybody to be able to go up onto the website as we're talking here. Obviously, if you're driving, don't do that. UnchainedWC.com. Their phone number is 480-536-9473. I want to talk about this because who's your client?
Sure. Our clients are people that are struggling with any type of behavioral health issue. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD, ADHD. Your traditional psychiatric care person is who we really want to come into the clinic. And then we offer also, on top of that, healthy spa modalities like cold plunging, infrared sauna, red light therapy bed, hydrogen gas therapy, other great spa modalities that help the body and the mind.
Well, we're going to talk about how those intertwine, but I have to ask you this question. It's not on your paper, so I love doing this for people. First, this is an easy one. What is your youngest client, that you work with? Do they have to be a certain age?
That's a great question. We actually helped someone that was about 10 years old with he had some ADHD and some autism as well.
But isn't that wonderful that you know that they have a place to go to? But what's great is that you offer these tours for people to come in and check it out, and then now you have a place that you can see and feel good in, and that's where I feel that the spa modalities that you bring in intertwine with mental health, and let's talk about how that works.
Yeah, so for anybody that shows up and wants to be a medication management patient of ours, has free access to those 6 modalities, free of charge, and they can just schedule it with our front office. And we really want to support not only healing the mind, but also the body, because they're interconnected. You can't have a good mind without a good body, and vice versa. They've got their signals that cross over from each other.
And everything that you do is holistic, correct?
Well, we do traditional psychiatric medication, so
okay.
we do traditional medication management.
So
but we want to do something more and offer people, hey, I'm done with meds, or I don't have any benefit from meds currently. I want to try something different.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk a bit about what Spravato or ketamine. You do those 2 therapies. Do you offer that?
We do offer that. Ketamine is a great drug that helps with treatment-resistant depression. And that's usually offered intravenously or intramuscular. And then Spravato is an insurance-approved version of ketamine. It's called S-ketamine, or Spravato is a name brand. So the insurance will pay for that for people that have treatment-resistant depression or major depression disorder.
Now, how do you find out whether it's the right fit? How does that work?
Well, our providers do a detailed intake, and there's some counterindications on Spravato and ketamine, so they'll do a detailed intake, go over their medical history, and find out if it's a good fit or not.
Now, they're located in Gilbert, on the corner of Gilbert and Guadalupe, and again, they would love for you to come in and get that free tour so that you can actually see the facility, and once you see it, you're going to want to go there. Again, that website is UnchainedWC.com. UNCHAINED.com, and their phone number is 480-536-9473. The other thing that I want to talk about, because we mentioned this before you came on, is that you're both in person and you can also do telehealth as well.
Yeah, we like to do in person as much as we can, but those people that can't come in on a regular basis, we offer telehealth, and that's a great option for people when they just need to get medications filled and a quick appointment.
And I also want to talk about how hormones, how they come into play, because you also do hormone therapy. You wouldn't think about that, but let's talk about how that comes into play.
Right, you know, I mean, everyone talks about hormone in a medical sense, but your hormones have a deep impact on how you feel and how your brain operates, because those are the signaling messaging in your brain. And if you don't have the right levels of hormones, then you're not going to feel very well. And so when one of our providers does the hormone optimization, and we look at hormones and how that affects your behavioral health.
So a lot of times, you know, when you're sitting here and you're saying, oh, my kid has this or whatever they're dealing with, and unfortunately in the world that we're living in today, there's so many, whether or not they're a child. He said his youngest patient is 10,
Yep.
you know, and that's sad to know that, but there's some that are dealing with things that even maybe it's emotional from what's brought on from, you know, social media and all of that really triggers things. And if your hormones are out of whack, that's going to make it even worse, I'm assuming. And there's help for you. What are some of the other things that you help people with on the mental side? I want to talk about that again. I don't know if I said that right.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we help people with like depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADHD. So there's different tools we have that help with that. Mainly just medications. We also have TMS, which is a transcranial magnetic stimulation. That's again for treatment-resistant depression. That's an insurance-approved treatment that basically you stimulate your brain with magnetic energy.
Wow.
And it basically is physical therapy on the brain to activate blood flow and electrical activity in the brain.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome that you offer so many different modalities for people. And the other thing that they do is they intertwine the spa, I guess I should say modalities again, so that you can utilize those to help you feel good along the way, right?
That is so correct, yeah.
Is that better to say it that way? I don't know.
That's a great way to say it.
Okay.
That's a great way to say it.
Cold plunge, I gotta ask you what that is.
Yeah, cold plunge is basically cold water.
You hear it, hear it, right?
Yeah, and it's been a craze. You know, if you're a Huberman husband, then you've heard about cold plunging, but we use it in an aspect where
You gotta tell me how that works out.
Yeah, so cold plunge is difficult. I mean, my son, Rock, uses it all the time, but it helps activate neurotransmitters. And so when we use it for our patients, we want them to get a boost of dopamine, serotonin, and it's just a ton of different things, and you feel good.
Do they have a choice of what they want to do, or do you have a package that you give them?
No, for the spa modalities, the patient can pick whatever they want.
Okay.
And we encourage them to use the cold plunge, the sauna, the red light, the compression suit, the hydrogen gas, but they'll lean towards one or the other that they really like and get the benefit from.
So this is probably the most important question of everything. How fast do people start feeling better? What kind of turnaround do you see?
That's a great question, and a lot of people, that's a huge concern. So for ketamine, people can feel good in one treatment. They'll have a significant improvement in their depression in one treatment. Spravato is ketamine, but you have like a 4-week program. And so most people have a benefit like 2.5, 3 weeks, but they feel amazing. Ketamine and Spravato also have a 80% effective rate for long-term remission of depression.
Well, it's interesting because there's so much, and you spit it out so easily. It's awesome that you can do that. There's a lot of people that would want to kind of learn a little bit more about each one of them, especially, and are all those okay for the 10-year-old as well? Does it matter?
They're all very, very safe modalities.
Very safe,
Yep.
Very safe. That's another thing that's also, I'm so glad that you brought that up.
Almost zero side effects.
Zero side effects. And the first thing that when you mentioned is that you and your wife wanted to bring this, I called it holistic, I'm not sure, you said a
Yep.
different word, what was that? that? I can't remember now.
Well, allopathic is a westernly trained.
Uh-huh.
That's your traditional Western medicine, and then holistic is kind of what we kind
Bringing the two
Yep.
together
Yeah.
and offering so that you not only feel good mentally but physically as well, and intertwining them. And if you do work with them and you become the patient, all of their spa their modalities are open to you for your choice for free,
For free,
correct?
yep.
For free. Now, they're located in Gilbert. They're on the corner of Gilbert and Guadalupe, and they would love for you to come in and do a free tour. That is what they offer. They can do in person and also both on telehealth, so that if you needed to have something, some kind of medication that you needed it refilled or what have you, they offer that as well. You can check them out on their website. It's UnchainedWC.com. Their phone number is 480-536-9473. Again, check them out on the website. It's UnchainedWC.com.